Okay, so here we are at week 7 of solar system. Now, a few of you are popping in late. It seems Montgomery let me know that you guys, at least he, had to update his Flash player. So hopefully that is what is causing the holdup for the rest of you. I'm going to give everyone an extra minute or two to jump in so that we can get started and all be together. So I'm going to start at 12:05, and we'll go ahead and I will teach until 1:05, just to give us that extra couple of minutes so that everyone can hopefully get to class. So you guys can go ahead and talk amongst yourself, and we will start in about 1 minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I hope you all had a great week off last week and are able to go ahead and get started today. I'm going to take a quick little poll just to make sure everyone hear me. So go ahead and just answer yes or no that you can hear me talking. Hopefully, awesome. 4 yeses, perfect. You can't get any better than that. Well, this week, we are going to talk about the outer planets of our solar system. But before we do that, we are going to review the inner planets of our solar system. Some of you turned in your solar system project that you did last, I guess, almost 2 weeks ago, where you were a news reporter on a planet and you were supposed to be reporting back what you were seeing. So the first thing we are going to do is share those projects. The first project that I'm going to share is, and let me flip to it, is on Mercury. This one, if you want to go ahead and make your screen bigger, these are in the PowerPoint section under the documents. Now this one was by Mohammed. Mohammed, would you like to share your project with us? You did a great job.
Mercury. This is Mercury. It's one of the 4 inner planets. One 4 inner planets. It's very hot. It's very hot. It's a little larger than the moon. It's a little larger than the moon.
Thank you very much, Montgomery. Now, Mohammed. I'm looking at one thing. Now, Mohammed went ahead and he did his project on the inner planet of Mercury. He wrote a little something up here, too, so he shared the highlights. I'm going to go ahead into what he has written here. Did you know that sun-scorching Mercury is a little larger than the moon? There is very little atmosphere on planet Mercury. That makes it easier to stop impacts. Planet Mercury is covered with different types of craters. During the day, Mercury is superheated by the sun, but when evening falls, the temperature drops hundreds of degrees, which is below freezing. Some say that ice may exist on the craters as it gets so cold at night. After every 88 days, Mercury's egg-shaped orbit goes around the sun. Fantastic job, Mohammed. Thank you for sharing. The next project I had was Carlisle's project on Mars. Carlisle, would you like to go ahead and share with us, please? All right, Carlisle, you're showing up on the screen, and if you would like your camera on, I can go ahead and do that. Just let me know.
Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and the second smallest planet in our solar system next to Mercury. One of the many differences between Mars and planet Earth is the length of one day. A day on Mars is 40 minutes longer than a day on Earth. Another difference is that instead of one moon, Mars has two, named Phobos and Deimos. Mars and Earth also have similarities, as the fact that they are in the Goldilocks zone. This is a special place in the solar system, where the temperatures are neither too hot nor too cold to possibly support life. Because of this possibility that Mars can harbor life, NASA has sent many unmanned vehicles to explore the terrain of Mars. This includes the Maven and the Curiosity. There's a new possible mission on the horizon for Mars. This mission is called Mars 1 and hopes to establish the first human settlement on Mars. 24 people will be selected in attempt to achieve permanent life on Mars. According to the Mars 1 website, crews of 4 will be launched every 2 years, starting in the year 2024. These crews are never to return to Earth. I think the Mars Web project is very interesting, and I hope it is successful. I like to go to Mars, but I would not want to stay forever.
Thank you very much, Carlisle. I completely agree. I think it might be neat to go to Mars, but I'm not interested in staying there forever either. So we'll have to see in the next years what happens with that concept. Okay, next I have someone's project on Venus. However, I failed to put the name on this. Does anyone want to claim this project? All right, then I will go ahead and just read this one. Venus is a cloudy planet that has a thick yellow cloud and is a nightmare planet. The temperature is up to 870 degrees Fahrenheit, or 465 degrees Celsius. Venus's surface has a dense atmosphere and has shown prior volcanic activity on the planet. There are both composite and shield volcanoes, which are similar to those found on Earth. Oh, and it looks like that was yours, Montgomery. So, great job on it. And I do have your name listed on my grading sheet. It's just not attached to these two projects. Okay, and the next one is about Earth. Alexandria, is this yours? Do you want to go ahead and share it for me? I'm not hearing anything coming through your microphone, Alexandria. So, okay, I will go ahead and read it for you. It says, "Hi, I am your news reporter, Allie, and the topic today is Earth. The Earth is 4.45 billion years old. Crazy, right? Earth is one of the 4 inner planets that include that include Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The Earth is blue and green from space. The blue is the water, and the green is the land. Lastly, the atmosphere in Earth is good. Yes, the atmosphere is polluted sometimes, but if we're still breathing, I think we will be fine. Last is temperature. We have 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, or fall, and it all depends on how the Earth is rotating on its axis. I'm your host, Allie, signing off. Good talking to you about Earth. So great job, you guys, writing as newspaper reporters or newscasters and letting us know a little bit about some of the inner planets. Now, today, we are going to explore the outer planets. Now, the outer planets are outer. They're on the outside edge of the solar system. There are 4 outer planets, just like there were 4 inner planets. Okay, is anyone else having trouble hearing me? Alexandria just said she was having a hard time hearing me. Is anyone else having a hard time hearing me? Can you hear me? No. Montgomery, Carlisle, can you guys hear me? Carlisle, yes. Montgomery, can you hear me? Montgomery, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Okay, Alexandria, I think it's on your end. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the 4 outer planets. Anyone want to tell me what those 4 planets are? You can go ahead and either type them in the text chat, or you can just go ahead and turn your mic on. Nope, Earth is not one of them. The 4 outer planets. 4 outer planets. Anyone? Uranus is one. Jupiter is one. So we have Uranus, we have Jupiter, Saturn, and there is one more. It's actually the one you're missing is the last one, the 8th planet from the sun. Anyone know? It starts with an N. Neptune. Awesome. Great job. So today we are going to take a look at these planets. Well, Pluto is considered a dwarf planet, so we actually are not going to talk about Pluto today. We will talk about Pluto, but we're going to save him for next week. So today we're going to look at the outer 4 planets. So here are the outer 4 planets based on size. Now I did add Pluto to this slide just so you could see the size difference. So the first planet up here is Jupiter. Jupiter is actually the largest planet. Its diameter is 88,700 miles. Next we have Saturn with its rings. Then we have Uranus and Neptune. Now Uranus and Neptune, even though they're 1,500 miles difference in size, are pretty close to the same size when you're talking about planets. So let's take a look at some of the similarities of outer planets. All are tens of thousands of miles across, meaning its diameter. These are all much larger than the inner planets. All are made of gases, hydrogen and helium, not rocky surfaces like the inner planets we talked about last time. And they all are not very dense. The reason for that is because they are made up of gases. So we are going to start with Jupiter today. Does anyone want to read this slide about Jupiter? Any volunteers? All right, I'll go ahead and read it then. So we're going to look at Jupiter first. Jupiter is the largest of all planets. It has colorful red and yellow bands. It has a very fast rotation on its axis. The average temperature here is negative 184 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the main features of Jupiter is that it has a giant red spot. And it is a gaseous planet with a liquid and metal core. Carlisle, you have a question?
Jupiter, doesn't it have like a giant red spot? Isn't that a storm?
Well, we are going to talk about the red spot. It is like a giant storm. It is a hurricane-like storm, very similar to what a hurricane on Earth is. So if we think a little bit about either news reports that you've watched or just know about the weather, when you think of a hurricane, hurricanes move in a circular motion. And right now up on your PowerPoint screen, I have the red spot, kind of towards the top middle. This hurricane-like storm is rotating circular, and it is fueled by the heat inside of Jupiter, much like a hurricane is fueled by the heat in the Earth's atmosphere. The red spot, or this red storm, is large enough that it would cover 3 Earths. And it was discovered by Galileo nearly 400 years ago. But here's a question for you guys to think about for a minute. Why does this hurricane, or this giant red spot, last so long compared to hurricanes on Earth? Think about that for a minute. Carlisle, go ahead.
Because it is on a planet that is solely made of gas.
Okay. It definitely is because of the planet that it's located on. The giant red spot can last so long because there's no winds in the atmosphere on Jupiter to break it up. the heat from Jupiter is always there. Hurricanes on Earth will oftentimes slow down or break apart as they are passing from the ocean to land. The mountains on the land will disrupt it. But there is no loss of heat on Jupiter. So next we have Saturn. Saturn is the least dense planet, and if you had a bowl large enough, it would actually float on top of a bowl of water. If you've ever looked at a picture of Saturn, it seems like it's bulging around its middle, and that's because it's spinning so quickly that it's almost compressing a little bit and bulging in the middle. Saturn has rings that are made mostly of icy chunks of rock. And Saturn has a gas and liquid outer covering with a small rocky core. So here's a look at Saturn's rings. Saturn's rings are made up of countless small chunks of ice and rock. The width of Saturn is 170,000 miles wide. But Saturn is less than a mile thick. The rings are actually 10 times as wide as the planet Earth. Now, if you look at this picture, you can see two different views of Saturn and of its rings. The first view, Saturn is kind of tipped a little bit on its side, so you can see how wide the rings are. And this bottom view is to show you how thin the ring actually is. Saturn has more than 20 moons, and scientists are discovering new ones often. Now, Saturn is actually one of my favorite planets. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a minute, couple minutes, and we're going to watch a little video clip about Saturn so that you guys can see some more in-depth information and pictures about Saturn. Now, in order to get to a video, we need to follow the following steps. Step 1 is to get so you can see all 4 of your screens. You are going to click on the little toolbar above your whiteboard screen. There should be an icon that says Applications. Click on Applications. You now should see a link that says Saturn Video. Do not click it yet. When you see the link for Saturn Video, click yes for me so I know that we are all in the same spot. Okay, Mohammed is there. Carlisle is there. You're on your whiteboard screen. There should be an icon that says Applications. Click on that icon. Perfect. We are all there. Okay, I'm going to have you go ahead and watch this video. While you're watching the video, I want you to jot down 2 or 3 facts just on a scrap sheet of paper that you find interesting that you can share with the class after the video. And when you're done, we'll come back to class. Okay, it looks like we are just waiting for one person to come back. So while we are waiting for Mohammed to come back, what I would like you guys to do is take those 2 or 3 facts that you wrote down about Saturn, and since it's my favorite, we're going to spend a little more time working with Saturn, and we are going to put some of these facts up on the whiteboard and try to paint a picture of Saturn. So, while we are waiting for Mohammed, I want you to put your facts up here. Everyone should now have access to the whiteboard. You should be able to type on it. If for some reason you're having trouble typing on it, you can put the information in the text chat and I will transfer it. Remember, when you are typing, you can click the black letter A, or you can try to write with the pencil. It is much easier to type. So take a few minutes, and I don't need full sentences or paragraphs here, just some information, bulleted points about Saturn.
You're freezing.
All right, perfect. That's the type of information I'm looking for. Just nice, quick facts. Perfect job, guys.
Stand from the sun.
All right, it looks like a couple of you have written in here. Let's get a few more facts up here. I was hoping to get 2 or 3 from each of you. Go ahead, Mohammed. Do you have a question?
Moon.
I didn't hear your question, Mohammed. Go ahead and give your mic a couple of seconds to turn on before you talk. So go ahead and try that one again. All right, it looks like we have some really good facts up here. We have that Saturn's rings are 10 times bigger than Earth. Galileo found the first of Saturn's moons. Liquid methane was found on Titan. And there are lots of ice in the rings and rock. So I'm going to go ahead and add some facts up here as well. So I'm going to add up here that Saturn, oops, is the 6th planet from the Sun. Saturn has more than 20 moons. Saturn is the 2nd largest planet. And Saturn is a gas giant. So that's some information about Saturn. Now let's go ahead and we are going to take a look at Uranus. It looks like Mohammed said he's having a hard time hearing me again. If anyone else is having a hard time, go ahead and write that in the text chat for me, please. So we have Uranus, which the planet was discovered in 1781. Good fact, Mohammed, it's one of the brightest planets. It is a gas planet, again with a small rocky core. It has a blue-green color from the methane in its atmosphere. The temperature of Uranus can get to 350 degrees below Fahrenheit, and it is almost featureless. There are very few mountains, craters, valleys, and it has very little weather. It is pretty much what scientists would consider to be a boring planet meteorologically and feature-wise. Uranus has a very interesting axis. Go ahead, Carlisle. You have a question before I talk about Uranus's axis?
Hey, I was boring. I mean, it has its axis tilted off. And why was that?
I'm not sure why it's like that. However, it's tilted 98 degrees from its orbit. So if you look at the picture on the PowerPoint screen up here, you can see all of the planets and their tilt. So for example, Mercury has the least amount of tilt. It is almost completely vertical on its axis. Its tilt is 0.1 degrees. The Earth's tilt is 23 degrees. Uranus's tilt, if you go all the way to the right, is 98 degrees. So it is almost lying on its side and spinning more like a wheel would be on your car than the other planets are. Uranus also has a very long revolution. It takes 84 Earth years to revolve once around the Sun. And the last planet that we have and have not talked about is the farthest planet from the Sun, and that is the planet Neptune. The planet Neptune was discovered in 1846. It has a blue color from the methane in its atmosphere. At the tops of the clouds of Neptune, it's negative 370 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you've been paying attention to the temperatures, they're getting colder and colder the farther and farther we get from the Sun. Now, Neptune has a feature similar to the red spot, and that is the Great Dark Spot. The Great Dark Spot is similar to the red spot on Jupiter, and it is a giant storm. It was first seen in 1989. Neptune also is a rocky core surrounded by a gas. Whoops. The winds on Neptune are the fastest winds in the solar system. And Neptune also has rings, not as large or as numerous as Saturn, but there are rings on Neptune. Now here we have a family portrait of our solar system. If you start at the top left corner, you have the sun. And as you go, you have Mercury, then Venus, then Earth, then Mars, and then if you jump to the bottom row, you have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And those are the planets of our solar system. Now, we are going to do a few riddles. All of these riddles are about planets that we have looked at. So let's take a minute. I want you guys to listen up. And when you think you know the answer, you are going to write it on your notepad. So let me give you a little refresher how to get to your notepad. Right now in your bottom left rectangle, you probably see a map. My map right now is focused on Africa. But on that toolbar right above your map, I want you to click the yellow piece of notebook paper that says Notepad. And we are going to try to determine these answers. Okay, so number 1. I'm the planet that everyone calls red, but really my soil is rust-colored instead. Look up and you may spot me in the sky. I am the orange-colored dot way up high. Go ahead and type in your answer. There's one answer up there. Go ahead and type in your answer. The correct answer is Mars. For those of you who are unsure where to type, remember your notepad is on the bottom left-hand side. There should be an icon right above that bottom left rectangle that looks like a notebook. And you are going to type your answer in there. You're going to click Add Note and add your answer. The correct answer to that one was Mars. Okay, ready? Here comes question number 2. With over 63 moons, you might say I have a lot. Look with a telescope to see my big red spot. The spot is a windstorm swirling around. High in the night sky is where I can be found. Okay, the answer to that one is Jupiter. All right, let's see if you can get planet number 3. Planet number 3's riddle is, I am a gas giant out in space. There are bands or stripes all over my face. When it comes to size, I'm number 2. I have bright rings. That's an easy clue. Very good. The answer is Saturn. All right. 1, 2, 3. Number 4. I'm going to write number 4 because it's getting hard to tell who's answering which question. So here we have number 4. I'm blue and green and a little brown. I'm a small planet with life all around. They call me the third rock from the sun. I don't have many moons, just one. Okay, the correct answer to that one is Earth. Earth has only one moon. Okay, number 5. A gas planet that's off in the distance. Only recently they found my rings in existence. I'm blue and cold and far away. People say I'm funny because I spin sideways. The correct answer on that one was Uranus. Remember, it spins, rotates like a wheel. Okay, and the last one is something that someone had asked in the text chat today, and I sort of ignored it. We had talked about it last week, and I knew I was going to be bringing it up again now. So here we go. This is the Earth's terrible twin. It rotates backwards from the Earth. So this is the Earth's terrible twin. It rotates backwards from the Earth. And the correct answer to our last planet riddle was Venus. Great job on all of those questions, guys. You did a fantastic job. Okay, so what that brings us to is our homework assignment for this week. Now, our homework assignment was supposed to be a little activity, but I decided I'm going to try to share it with you guys right now. So what our homework assignment is going to be is a little bit different than what was on your syllabus. Your homework for this week is to pick a planet. Any of the 8 planets. It can be an outer planet, an inner planet. It can even be the Earth. It is up to you. I want you to spend a half hour to 45 minutes researching your planet. Whether you use the internet, whether you use textbooks, library books, that is completely up to you. What you are going to do in that 30 minutes to a half hour is come up with 10 facts about your planet. Some of those facts I have listed specifically what I'm looking for in Moodle. Some of the other facts can just be facts you find interesting. You do not need to write a paragraph. You can do just like what we did from the video, where you're listing bulleted facts about the planet. I would like you to not do the same planet that you were the newspaper reporter for last week. Montgomery, do you have a question about the homework?
No, but I don't know why everyone was not doing the thing here. What I was doing. I was the only one who was doing that.
Oh, you mean the notepad? Actually, you weren't, but you guys can't see each other's answers. So I have the notepads locked so that you can only see your answers, but when Carlisle answered a question, I got the answer too, but couldn't see that you were answering a question. That way I know if you are really understanding what we're looking at, or if you are using someone else's answers to help you out. So everyone was actually participating in that, but you can only see your answers. So, good observation. So now in the last minute or two of class, I would like to look at something that I think is pretty interesting, and it's about space travel and how long it would take us to get certain places. Now I have this link up in the Moodle site under Trip Planner link. Now, we obviously are not really going to plan a trip anywhere in outer space. However, we are going to take a look at how long it would take us to get certain places using different modes of transportation. So, if you go to the spot where we watch the videos from, which is on your whiteboard, the very last icon that says Applications, there should be something that says Interactive. Now when you click on this link, it's going to bring you to an interactive website. And I'd like you to spend a couple of minutes here at the end of class exploring this website. It'll say Interstellar Trip Planner. And if you could go ahead and click yes when you are at the Interstellar Trip Planner page. And we're going to take a second and do one together. And then I'm going to have you just look at it a little on your own here at the end of class. Okay, so follow along with me. You should be able to still hear my voice, even if you are not on the Jigsaw page and you are on the Trip Planner page. So go ahead and select your destination. I'm going to choose Saturn since it is my favorite planet. Now it says Saturn is 741.2 million miles from Earth. So I'm going to click Saturn. And I'm going to decide how I want to get there. Am I going to drive in my car, go on a train, an airplane, the Voyager, or a starship? Well, I'm going to pick an airplane. You can pick however you want. Now I'm going to click Plan Trip. So if I take an airplane to Saturn, I will get there in 141 years. Now that's way past a normal human lifespan. So I need to get there quicker if I'm actually going to see Saturn. So now I'm going to try the Voyager. And that's much quicker. If I take the Voyager, that travels 10.5 miles per second, I would arrive at Saturn in 2 years and 3 months. Now I'm going to choose the Starship just to see how quickly I can get there. Now if I choose the Starship, I will be there in 1 hour and 6 minutes. So I could be there and back by dinner. However, unfortunately, the technology to travel at this speed is not available or not made yet. So, what you are going to do, if you would like, is take a couple minutes, play around with that website. It's neat to see how long it would take us to get certain places. It is not part of your homework assignment anymore. Your homework is in Caselli, and it is to choose a planet and do some research. I hope you guys have a great week. We only have 2 more classes, so we will meet next Thursday at our normal time at noon Eastern Time. If you have any questions during the week, feel free to give me a call or send me an email. I hope you have a great day.